Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks post-game show. I'm Jay Zawoski here with Greg Boyson. The Hawks lose 3-2 in overtime to the Winnipeg Jets in a game that was, Greg, simultaneously very hard fought and gritty and frustrating.
Yes.
It had a little bit of everything.
We got back here for the third period after spending the first two periods in the press box where you really can't, a lot of under our breath and conversations amongst us. I let all that frustration out here during the third period because it's just, we've said it all season long, but tonight was like the epitome of why is everything so freaking hard?
Everything is hard all the time.
It's just no pass is ever tape to tape. No play is ever crisp over the line. No zone exit is ever clean. It's always something.
Yes.
Jason Dickinson has Connor Hullerbuck laying on the ground and he shoots it into his head. Nothing is ever easy for this team. And tonight was the epitome of difficult hockey. This was a game they could have won. Maybe I argue they should have won. They've played the Jets tough all four games.
Yeah.
It's been 2 overtime games and 2 one-goal losses in regulation. All 4 games, 1-goal games.
What's frustrating about this one is, first of all, the Hawks came out, first period played really well.
Yeah.
It's, they're down 1-0, but they talked to Colin Blackwell in intermission. It was we're right there, right where we need to be. That was a sick shot by Ehlers.
Yeah,
Nothing you could do about that.
They had Ehlers pushed out to the outside where you want him. Not many guys are scoring from that spot, and he just
perfect snipe.
Put it right over the top of the shoulder. Just not much you could do on that play.
No. Second period was horrible. And then the third, they battled back. They forced overtime. They had a lot of control of the game, and then overtime starts, and we're going to get there. Let's start with overtime, but first we want to let people vote on the 4-star of the game. Here are your 3 stars. Your number 3 star is Seth Jones. He had 2 assists, but a lot more on him coming up. Kyle Connor was number 2, and Nikolai Ehlers, of course, with his 2 goals, is the number 1 star of the game. So here are your nominees for 4-star. Vote on the web poll there on our YouTube page, and make sure while you're there, by the way, you smash that like button and subscribe to the YouTube page. Colin Blackwell with a goal, 2 shots, 4 shot attempts, 2 hits in 15:59. Tyler Johnson with the game-tying goal. He had 5 shots on goal, 7 shot attempts in 15:29. And Jason Dickinson with that really nice assist to set up the tying goal, 4 shots, 5 shot attempts, and won 12 of 22 faceoffs, and led all forwards with 20 minutes and 43 seconds of ice time. But just to isolate on Seth Jones here, and he's been playing his ass off over the last little bit here. He played 29-18 of this game. Finished with, he had 2 assists, did he not?
Yes.
Yes, the box score is not updated, his 2 assists. He had 2 assists, 4 shots, 9 shot attempts. He is out there basically willing this team into survival. And take a look at that overtime goal, or the game-tying goal, rather. Seth Jones keeps that play alive under pressure at the blue line, gets it over to Dickinson, who puts the backhand pass to Johnson. Without Seth Jones keeping that puck in, overtime never happens in this game. He was incredible.
He only has 1 assist. He did not get the secondary assist.
Did they take it away?
Because Dickinson has the secondary assist. Foligno has the primary, so Foligno must have touched it on its way to Johnson.
Oh. All right.
Look at Foligno out there stealing assists.
Yeah, wow.
I have to talk to him about that.
I hope that doesn't cost me Who's Your Hawk. I don't think it's going to, but
it's not. You're the only guy that had a point.
That's true. Spoiler alert. So get your votes in, and we'll reveal the 4-star of the game at the end of the show. But overtime, I got a tweet at me just a few minutes ago from Frank Ruffalo. He's active all the time. And I said the same thing to you. I go, you're like, why is Jacob Magna standing on the ice before overtime? Get on the bench. And I said, why is Connor Bedard sitting on the bench? Get out there. It's overtime. And, yeah, we know Luke Richardson likes to start overtime with Jason Dickinson.
He always
to win
has,
because
he wins that face-off, but why is Connor Bedard not out there instead of Nick Foligno? Now, we know we love Nick Foligno.
Of course.
But Nick Foligno is, I don't know if he's talking tonight after the game, but he will admittedly say he cost him this game because he had the turnover.
Yeah.
And then the puck, the game-winning goal,
winning goal off his
but
skate.
like, I don't know. It was one of those plays where he's driving in and then pulls up, lets the defenseman catch up to him. Just if you don't have a shot, just flick it in behind.
Yep.
Get it in behind the net.
Get it deep and let 98 get on the ice.
Yeah, like it. I agree. I get having Jason Dickinson start overtime because you want to win the faceoff, you want to have possession, and he did that portion of it. But it should be Connor Bedard out there with at this. Yeah, like there's really no way. Connor Bedard should be out on 3-on-3 overtime. He should never leave the ice.
I agree. He also, Bedard, by the way, won 3 of 7 faceoffs, so not horrible. That's 43%, but flip it and it's
have Dickinson win the faceoff. Give it to Bedard.
Yeah.
Dickinson can skate off the ice and let Kurashev get on and let the magic happen.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like this game felt like a missed opportunity, and look, a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people in the chat that it's inexcusable he wasn't out there. It was a 25-second overtime. Like there was no next shift.
Yeah,
but
it backfired.
I put him out there immediately.
Yeah, but this is what he's done all season. It wasn't like this was.
And they're what 5? They're now
5 and
4 in overtime. But they were 5 and 3 at the time.
This is what they did when Connor Bedard won the game in overtime against the Jets. He didn't start that period. He didn't start the overtime. So yeah, while I agree with everybody in the chat that said he needs to be out there, it's also, what he's done all season for whatever reason. Maybe, hopefully he, one of our fellow beat reporters asks Luke, hey, why'd you not tap 98 on the shoulder there?
Yeah, well, we'll see. Mario maybe we'll send Luke in and we'll be able to play it before or during his visit. Because I'm interested in what he has to say about this one. Because look, like,
you can't be upset.
You can't,
because
they hung in there. The second period was trash, but like you're talking cup contender versus bottom feeder, and there's going to be times where it looks like that. But at the end of the day, the Hawks with a shot advantage, 35-31. They outshot them 11-8 in the first. They were outshot 15-10 in the second. And outshot them 14-7 in the third.
That 15-10 though, it was like
it felt way worse than that.
It was like 14-2 at one point.
Yeah,
that Colin Blackwell goal gave them some energy in life. That came with 4 or 5 minutes left in the second period.
Yeah, and the Hawks had.
And then they kept the pressure on after that. That kind of flipped the game around. There was 4 minutes to go, 4-2 left on the Blackwell goal.
Just looking at the possession numbers, Corsi 54-43 in favor of the Hawks. Fenwick 37-30. Oh, I'm sorry. Resetting. I was going by shot attempts, not percentages. 55.7% to 44.3% Corsi, 52.9% Fenwick in favor of the Hawks. The Hawks had 28 shots to their 24. This is at 5-on-5, obviously. 21 scoring chances for the Hawks, 22 for the Jets. High danger, 11-7 for the Hawks. And the Hawks with a 2.29 expected goals to the Jets, 1.76. As lopsided as the second period was, all the numbers point to the Hawks having a better game at 5-on-5. And it's just their inability to effing complete passes cleanly or get shots off or receive a pass.
Right. And before we talk about that, Lucy has, we still do not know where Zaitsev is. I saw him today. Ooh. He's alive. Nikita Zaitsev exists. When I was walking out of the United Center after morning skate, he walked by me. So he's alive. He's walking. Didn't have much of a limp. I don't know what his status is. He hasn't skated or anything, but he still exists. It literally, he walked by. We made eye contact. We nodded at each other. And then it took me another 6 seconds for it to dawn on me who it was. Because I know that guy. I've seen him before. Oh, right. That's Nikita Zaitsev. I have to report that he's still a thing.
That was me with Kevin Cheveldayoff in the bathroom. Like, that looks familiar. Oh, it's Kevin Cheveldayoff. I had to like search my hockey Rolodex of who is that. Yeah, it's look, man. A lot of these games feel the same at the end, but this one, it feels like a missed opportunity. It feels like a game they could have and maybe should have won.
And we mentioned the first Ehlers goal, great shot. Second Ehlers goal, inexcusable.
A lot of bad on that play.
That play was a complete team breakdown. You had a delayed penalty coming.
Yes.
Ehlers gets the puck behind his own net, skates all the way up. Maybe the Blackhawks were just kind of lollygagging a bit. Because they're like, all we have to do is just touch the puck, and the whistle's going to blow. They let him get to the blue line, and then once he's in the blue line, he gets to the slot, and you have Jacob Megna, not an NHL defenseman, and Kevin Korchinski.
Nick Foligno was there, too. And Bedard gave him a little flyby.
And they all stand there, and nobody makes a move to go get him.
Nope. That was a team failure.
Yes. Bedard
was the first guy on him as he entered the zone, and Bedard kind of like gave him the old Roger Dorn, gave him the old A bullshit. And then he cuts to the middle looking for the NHL 24 glitch cheese goal. And all the Hawks are just like, go right ahead.
Yeah.
Take your shot.
You had two defensemen stand there and watch them. Nobody moved. Nick Foligno let him shoot. That's an inexcusable goal. And then the third goal, the overtime goal, is bad luck. The turnover and then off the stick. I'm sure we'll talk about Kevin Korchinski. Rough night.
Yeah, it was a rough night for him.
He's had a couple of rough nights here, and I get it. Like, he's never played this much hockey.
No.
He's up to how many games have the Hawks played now? What game is this? 50-something? 58. And he's played them all. He's coming from juniors where you're not playing as many. You know, the CHL, you play 60, I think, games or so, over 60. But he's getting to that point. He's never played NHL. He's getting to that point where, like, mentally, physically, he's probably exhausted. Tonight, like, I walked into the building, and when I walked in, there's a little hallway we come in. If you've been to the Hawks game and you see where they do the little soccer before the game, those doors, those are the doors we walk into. And I walk in, and Kevin Korchinski was in that hallway shooting a rubber puck off the wall and, like, stick handling. But tonight was just...
It was tough. And this is now
multiple passes.
The second game in 3 games where he's struggled. And look, like, I pointed out on Twitter, and people are like, you shouldn't just pick on him. I'm like, whoa. Kevin Korchinski, yes, he's 19, but he's an NHL player. He is worthy of credit. I just criticized Connor Bedard for flying by. Like... Well, these guys are pros. It's okay to point out their errors.
It's not picking on them, but we should be criticizing the players that mean something going forward.
Yes.
I'm not going to get upset when Jacob Megna throws a puck into the middle of the ice because Jacob Megna's not going to be here after this year. Kevin Korchinski is one of your potential cornerstones of hopefully another dynasty-type run here in a few years. So these are the type of plays that you are going to happen with a young defenseman, but you just... When they happen multiple times in the same game, you're kind of like, what are we doing here? Turnovers happen. Bad plays happen. Bad reads happen. Veterans make those plays all the time, but when, like, you keep seeing the same mistakes happen over and over again, that's when you're like, okay, what are we doing here? Does he, like, unfortunately, there's no way they can sit him out for a game. You know, if they wanted to give him that, okay, take a breath, reset treatment, because they only have 6 healthy defensemen right now.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm doing that. I mean, look, like, we're at game 52, as you mentioned, 53.
58.
But he's only played 52.
Oh, that's right. He did miss some time.
Right.
I forgot about that.
But the most he's played in his career is 67. So, like,
you're getting there.
And, like, Merrick said it, like, he's 19, has a lot of talent, not worried about him. We're not worried about him either. It just makes a lot of sense that, look, when he was playing in Seattle, it wasn't quite the same as playing in the NHL every night, where every decision you make is, you know, quick, and, you know, you're not giving the old Spaceballs hand on the helmet like you were doing in Seattle. You've got guys that are as good or better than you in this league, and it's going to take its toll, both physically and mentally. The fact that he's had a handful of games at most where you'd say, like, he was not great, that's good. I'm encouraged that it's taken up to game 53 of his career for us to really say, hey, a couple in a row where he's been tough.
Yes, like, these are normal growing pains for a young defenseman. We're talking about a teenager in the NHL. Like, he has been better overall than I expected this season. Like, do I want some more offense out of him? Absolutely. Will that come? Sure it will. Like, I'm not saying, he's a bust, anything like that. But our job is to analyze and break down games.
That's it.
And make bad jokes.
Well,
so when guys have rough games, we're going to point them out, whether they're a top prospect or they're, an AHLer getting a run here in the NHL. So, like, not down on the kid, but just saying, like, hey, that's a rough game. He's had a couple of rough games here over the last few. Like, he was benched for a lot of that second period. Was that the Ottawa game that he sat in?
Yes.
Or the Pittsburgh game.
Whatever.
That game they lost.
The one they lost, yeah.
Yeah. But, you don't. My thing is, young kids make mistakes. I start to get itchy when they make the same mistakes over and over and over again. Like, we're seeing Connor Bedard show that he can, like, adapt. There was that play, I believe it was in the Pittsburgh game, where he tried to make the cross-ice pass to Jones and it was tipped the other way, and then Riley Smith scored that goal. And then the next game, he went to make that same play, but he waited an extra second for the defenseman to come in. And, we've seen him do other things where he, like tonight, I pointed out in the press box, I don't know if it was to you or to Mario, but he gets to the blue line. There's 3 defenders in. He just flips the puck over deep and lives the fight another day, where most of the season, he's trying to skate through all 3 of them. So you're seeing him make recognition of previous mistakes and not making them. That's what I want to start seeing out of Kevin Korchinski.
Yeah, and I mean, it is a little bit apples and oranges, too, because you're dealing with a defenseman who's kind of tasked with being the breakout guy who's got to get everything going. And, when the game's off for a guy like that, it's a lot more noticeable. Those turnovers become a lot more noticeable. But, look, I am not worried about Kevin Korchinski, but I do think it's worth pointing out, and we wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't, that he's had a couple of rough ones in a row here. Again.
And when he gets out
my
of this,
opinion of him has not changed at all as a prospect.
And when he gets out of this little funk and has a big game, we'll be here to throw flowers in his direction.
Do we have the Seth Jones ready to go?
Yeah, we do.
Why don't we hear from Seth Jones postgame, and then we're going to take a break, and then Mario should be with us shortly after that. So here is Seth Jones after the 3-2 loss to the Jets in overtime.
Very well this year. It's good to get one, and how much did you want that second goal with the way you guys played tonight?
Yeah, we did a lot of good things, I thought. We got through some of their big momentum swings when they had a lot of ozone time, and we were able to get through it, and Rasen made some big saves, and then we had some sustained ozone time as well. We were able to get pucks to the net. I think our forwards did a great job tonight getting pucks low to high and getting it out of pressure, and the D were shooting tonight, I thought, a lot more than we have been in the past. So just trying to get more traffic around there. It's just an unfortunate bounce in OT. It doesn't really surprise me at this point, to be honest. It's kind of crazy.
It's just a snake bit thing sometimes, it feels like, with you guys. Yeah.
I mean, I think you're trying to pass it back door and just off Nick's skate, and Rasen's really got no chance on that. So, in OT, we want to try to sustain puck possession when we can, but that's just an unfortunate bounce.
You've talked so much about stringing those offensive shifts together, and what did you guys do to actually make it happen tonight?
Well, I thought our forecheck was pretty good. We were able to get pressure on the puck and then make them make mistakes. I thought our second guy was in there quick as well, so we scooped some pucks off that. And then I think low to high is the key. You see a lot of teams now like to put 5 in the corner and try to outnumber you right away. Then they get it from us. So it's tough on the forwards. It's 3-on-5 down there, so when they get it out high, it's quickly. It's nice, and obviously the D have to get their shots through and make things happen from up top.
Would you stay on Blackwell's goal?
I just got the puck in the middle there, and Blackie took off. That's what I saw. It was a great play by him. Usually when there's a turnover kind of in that hash mark area, no one expects a breakaway play. So it's great recognition by Blackie, and I just try to put it on his tape.
You guys struggled so long at the 6-on-5 at the end of games, but you've had it work a few times recently. Did you change anything, or is it really just a team desperation that's starting to pay off?
Just team desperation. I think we are all on the same page at the moment with it. Everyone seems pretty comfortable in their spots. So I'm trying to just distribute up there and keep pucks alive when I can. And We know we've obviously had a lot going on in 6-on-5, but recently we're getting pucks to the net. I think with Kershey shooting, when our flank guys are shooting, taking those one-timers, they got to respect it. And then we have 3 guys around the net, and we can outnumber them from there.
It looked like Winnipeg was pretty much just bodying Connor Bedard the entire third period. Is that something that you guys see, and is it you have to find a spot where you can maybe stand up for him without taking a penalty there in a close game?
Yeah, I think Bobby was in there pretty quick. I think we want to do that to other teams' best players as well. You know, you want to get under guys' skin. You want to be pricks to play against, especially teams' top players and young players. So I don't think this is going to be the end of that for him. He's going to see that throughout his career. I think the best players all do. McKinnon and Crosby and McDavid, they all have, you know, say even a guy like Lowry tonight, his job is to, you know, shut down top lines, get under, you know, the best player skin of the team. So he's got to be patient with that, and everyone's got everyone's back in this room.
Seemed like Foligno gave him an extra shot, gave Dylan an extra shot too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bobby. I think it was Bobby. Was it Fleagy too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think Fleagy got him a shift after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just playing hard for each other, being physical. I think we can do that a little bit more. Is be physical for each other, and now I think that'll create turnovers for us.
Seth Jones after the Hawks 3-2 loss to the Jets. Interesting question from Tab there, saying like, "Hey, are you noticing the teams are starting to play Bedard physically?" And he's like, "That's how we want to play other team stars too." Like, Connor Bedard is going to get hit. Like, he's going to have attention. Teams are going to come after him, and I'll tell you, like, he got right in Brendan Dillon's face. Did not back down at all.
Jumped up a little bit because the height advantage. No, like we see that Connor Bedard is not just, I'm a great offensive player. Like he's got a little red ass in him. He's not afraid to be physical. He's not afraid to stand up for himself. He's not afraid to stare down a goalie.
He's
after a
also
goal.
He is not tall, but he's not small. Connor Bedard is a fire plug, man.
Yeah,
he's not some shrinking violet.
No.
He is a strong, shredded young man that can stand up for himself.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have to.
No, I agree.
But he can if he needs to. Like
Yeah.
he did not back down from Brendan Dillon,
and
who was
Beauvillier.
a big angry dude.
And Beauvillier comes right in to support him. And Beauvillier, we kind of ragged on him last game, but nice game today to the point where he got promoted to the top line with Kurashev and Bedard. So good signs from him. I know, like, maybe we're a little rough on him his first or second game back, that he wasn't doing much, but visible and standing up for a teammate, that's the stuff you want to see. I see Mario is standing by, so we're going to take our first break, and you see us here with our icy cold Coors Light cups, and man, nothing takes the edge off of a tough Hawks loss like a nice, crispy, cold Coors Light. When I think of relaxation and chilling, a lot of my most chill memories are featuring Coors Light.
Party ball?
Perhaps some other things too. But Coors Light is certainly mostly involved most of the time when I'm relaxing, because you know what I like it is
Stella Blue playing in the background.
Yeah, exactly. As an old guy, you know, I can't just drink those big old heavy beers, and I don't want to because A, they don't taste good, and B, they make me feel really full. Coors Light is cold and refreshing and does not fill you up. I love it. It is the perfect cold refreshment to chill you out, especially during an intense hockey game. And when you need to chill most, that's what you want to grab, an ice cold silver bullet. When the mountains turn blue, it is cold as the Rockies. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. When it's time to chill, open a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment, as crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. When it's time to chill, Coors Light is the beer I reach for. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO hockey. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Coors and Coors Light, legends in the beer game.
Indeed.
And Empire Today, legends in the flooring game. Chicagoland legends, worldwide legends. With Empire Today, you get shop-at-home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee. Empire Today is the absolute best place to get new flooring. So, of course, they have a lot of copycats, but Empire can't be beaten on quality, service, speed. So, competitors, they advertise low-quality products that Empire simply won't carry. Empire won't promise the lowest prices, because anyone who does that is putting flooring in your home they wouldn't put in theirs. They keep shopping for floors simple with a curated product selection. They go out, they find what you need. They don't overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitutes. What they leave out of their selection is as important as what they put in. Empire's product team exhaustively combs through thousands of product samples to find the perfect styles, so you don't have to. Plus, they have a virtual floor designer. It's the best way to see how the new floors will look in any space. It's simple. You just take a picture of the room you want your new floors in, and you'll instantly see how they're going to look. So you can see how the colors match up to decor. It's absolutely perfect. They pride themselves on their convenient shop-at-home service. They help customers shop for floors where they use their floors so they can see exactly what their new floors is going to look like and make a perfect and informed decision. They also service their own warranty, so if an issue should ever arise, you just call Empire. They service it all themselves. You don't have to track down a manufacturer's phone number and find out that company went out of business in the 50s. So, schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use the promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/CHGO for all the details.
Speaking of details, if you are joining us Sunday for our takeover for Chris Chelios night / Patrick Kane's return,
got your tickets.
Yeah, you should have your tickets already. We are going to meet in the atrium right around Chelly's Chili around 1:45 or 2. So look for us there. Again, if you can't attend the pregame stuff, that's fine. But just know the Chelios ceremony starts at 3:10.
Yes.
So don't think you're going to show up at 5 o'clock for a 5 o'clock puck drop and catch that ceremony. It's going to be 3:10. Then it'll be time for you to go grab some cold ones and some food and wait till the game starts. What they do there is they don't want to get the players off their rhythms.
Right.
So the ceremony is well before the game. So prepare. Even if you're not coming to the game, get in front of your TV by 3 o'clock so you don't miss a second of that ceremony. So it's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. And speaking of the United Center, why don't we go out there right now and bring in our buddy, Mario Tirabassi.
That sounds like one hell of an idea.
There he is. What's up, Mario?
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
Everything's groovy. The conversation to start the show was the decision to not have Connor Bedard on the ice to start overtime. I'm sure that was a question asked to Luke Richardson. What was his response?
Yeah, that was. I mean, if they don't score 15 seconds into overtime, you don't think twice about it. But obviously, with the game ending that quickly and Connor Bedard never being able to touch the ice, that becomes a topic of discussion. His explanation was that he started Dickinson and Foligno with the hope that they would be able to possess the puck a bit longer than they did, a little bit more successfully than they did, to try and tire out the Jets starting skaters, and then with them being tired, be able to try and then get Bedard and Kurashev out there with a tired group defensively. Obviously, that didn't happen. So, I mean, yeah, do you want to say put your best players out there to start? Sure. But I think, the strategy of trying to you're playing a little bit of chess there. You're trying to say, we believe that we're going to get the puck with Dickinson and Foligno, and we'll be able to possess it long enough. And they play a heavy enough style, both offensively and defensively, that they're going to tire out the group that's going to start for the Jets, so that when we're able to make a change with possession of the puck, we're going to get our two best offensive players out there completely fresh against a tired opponent. So it makes sense to me. Just obviously the execution didn't work, so then it comes into question.
Yeah, and it is a valid reason. It makes a lot of sense.
He's done it before.
Yeah,
he did it the last time against the Jets, and Bedard scored the game-winning.
Yeah,
but I still kind of want Connor Bedard out there.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe this is the sort of thing where he revisits that a little bit. And look, let's be real. Luke Richardson is learning on the job too. We talk about the rebuilding of the players and the rookies and all that. This is his first time being a head coach, and there's lessons to be learned. You don't just start out as Scotty Bowman. Whether or not he ends up being a great head coach or not remains to be seen, but every coach goes through growing pains and lessons learned, and maybe this is one. And look, like, it doesn't sound like he was really second-guessing himself at all. Like, his logic is sound. It just, you feel like 3-on-3 is made for a guy like Bedard, and to not get to see him out there, tough.
Yeah, as the Giggity says, I don't think Bedard needs a defenseman to be tired in order to score a goal.
Yeah,
but
right.
It doesn't hurt, but yeah, it's it is what it is. He explained his reasoning, and that's what it is. He told you why, and it didn't work.
You also have two guys in Kurashev and Bedard that they're not great at the faceoff dot. So you put out guys like Foligno and Dickinson, who have a better shot at winning that faceoff. So you have you're playing percentages with the chance to start the puck higher by having those two guys out there than with Bedard and Kurashev. And say Bedard wins the faceoff, controls the puck, they go down and score and win the game in 15 seconds. Yeah, you look like a genius. Everyone goes home happy. But I think if he had started Bedard and Kurashev and they lose in the same fashion, I mean, it's the same result, So I don't know. It's not something I'm gonna tear my hair out over. Like you said, this is still time for experiments and learning on the job. And maybe next time Blackhawks get in an overtime situation, maybe it is Bedard and Kurashev, or Bedard and whoever else you want out there to start, and we go from there.
Yeah, if Foligno doesn't pull up and turn the puck over, we're not having this conversation.
Right.
Bedard gets a chance to win the game.
Right, yeah.
And that kind of leads in. Foligno had a tough game. I see he did not speak after the game. But, obviously had a turnover, then the game winner goes off his skate, and I think he was one of the many Blackhawks on the ice for the second Ehlers goal that kind of half-assed at the defense of that. I'm interested. I know Luke would not probably call out somebody like Foligno, but I think there was just a lot to be criticized on that second goal. Did you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, on the second goal, he talked about it in the post game about how, sometimes that is a shot from Ehlers, who's a really good player. I think you could put him in that category of underrated as how good and how much attention he actually gets. But that's a shot that you see a lot of people taking this time of or this in this generation, and the guys have that kind of skill to be able to pull it off. So it's you credit Ehlers to be able to make that kind of shot. But yeah, I mean, there's defensive breakdowns on both of those goals tonight that you'd like to have back. And I think on the delayed penalty goal, Ehlers makes a move to the middle, and Kevin Korchinski's a step late trying to cut him off, and makes the Blackhawks pay. And then on the second goal, I mean, it's a great shot at a tough angle. So it's hard. It's when you have a team like the Jets that have a lot of skilled players, you don't have the luxury of being able to take any time off in the game. So when you do, you are put on your heels and you have to try and recover. And against highly skilled players, it's hard to do that. So Blackhawks, I mean, they turned it on in the third period, forced the overtime. Good for Tyler Johnson, but yeah, it's those little lapses that have bigger impacts.
Well, let's focus on some of the positive, and there was some positive in this game. Seth Jones finished his third star of the game, and people might think we're pumping his tires, but when you look at the game he had an assist. They did not give him that secondary assist in overtime, which was strange, but 29-18 of ice time, 4 shots, 9 shot attempts. He just continues over the last, probably a week and a half, 2 weeks, has played upwards of 28, 29 minutes a night, and is really taking it upon himself to get the puck on net. I think he, more than any Hawk, has really gotten that message and has gotten good at it. And it's kind of amazing when you look at the output of shots and shot attempts he has, and he's still is stuck on that one goal. He's doing everything right, and right now, over the last 5 or 6 games, he is playing like a $9.5 million defenseman. He's been outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, and he talked after the game about, you know, the directive that the not just him but all the defensemen have been getting to put the puck on net more often. Find, you know, work hard to find shooting lanes and take advantage of them. He's definitely been doing that the last couple of games. And yeah, I mean, maybe he's not shooting and shooting to score goals, but he's shooting to try and get through traffic, shooting for sticks, you know, guys in front of the net trying to get deflections and stuff like that. So they're not necessarily, you know, trying to go bar down from the blue line, but he's got the idea of trying to shoot and get a fortunate bounce to go the Blackhawks way, which it really hasn't been this season. I don't know if you guys have played Seth's post-game availability yet. You did? Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, in the opening statement, he's basically just like, of course, you know, bounces don't go our way this year. That's been the story all season. So, I mean, you saw his comments to Ben Pope today and yesterday, and yeah, you definitely see that how this season is kind of taxing on him. And you know, all these guys, they're professionals. They're ultimate competitors. You see that how much they don't like losing. And Seth Jones is really, since he's been here, only experienced that when he signed his contract. That is not what he was expecting. So he's doing what he can to try and get some positive results for this team. He's been playing a lot better recently, and Tyler Johnson said it as well. You know, Seth is the kind of guy that this team needs to play the role that he's playing, and you know, as in recent games, he's been playing it really well.
Well, in respect to him too, like you said, that guys was sold a bill of goods when he got traded here, accepted a trade here, signed a long-term deal with the expectation of we're going to keep going for it, and then they're not, and he's well within his rights to piss and moan and be unhappy and rock the boat. And I mean, it would suck and we would all hate him for it. But instead, all he's done is go out there, play half the effing game, and do everything he can to keep the Hawks in the game. Like, he's been a total professional. And look, I know people don't love the contract, and I don't either. Fine. You know what I mean? But like, he's here and he's giving you everything he's got. And that's really all you can ask of a guy, you know, and the production will come when the talent improves. It's a matter of time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Colin Blackwell, okay? Took that hard hit late in the game. Any update on that? He came back, I know, but
yeah, he came back and played. You know, Luke wasn't asked about it. Seems like he's going to be okay. He did talk about Colin and the goal he scored and what he brought to the team tonight, and he was very very noticeable in mostly all in good ways tonight for Blackwell, which is what you want to see. Second game in a row that he's had a really nice play, finished it off and scored. So, you know, he's one of those guys that, you know, he's bringing the energy. He's playing every shift hard, and he's doing everything that, you know, even more than I think that you'd be expected of him, especially offensively. The way that he's been able to kind of create some plays and finish some chances. But he's also still out there forechecking, you know, hustling after pucks, laying hits, blocking shots. Like, he's doing literally everything he can. He's another guy that's like he's using every tool he has in his tool chest to try and, you know, get the most, do the most for this team. So yeah, it seems like he's okay. It didn't seem like there was any concerns coming from Luke Richardson. It was a pretty big hit between him and I think it was Scheifele. But yeah, he came out and was on the ice towards the end of the regulation, and it seems like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's kind of this whole team is trying to squeeze every ounce of talent it has out of itself. And you're even seeing that with like Dickinson and Foligno and Kurashev. Like, they're probably producing at rates that no one really expected them to, because they have to. Like I say it all the time, like, someone has to score. It's an NHL team. They're on the ice for 60 minutes. At some point, the puck's going to go in. So you've got these guys who are just, you know, Nick Foligno most of the year has been your top line winger. Jason Dickinson's been a second liner. On a contender, those guys are third, maybe even fourth liners at this point. Everybody is doing the most they can to keep the team in the game, and it just, as frustrating as it can be, I don't know what more we should expect.
Was the concussion spotter off tonight?
He was concussed.
Because Connor Hellebuyck gets hit in the head on a flyby by Taylor Radish's ass. And somehow
got him.
Radish gets a penalty, even though Hellebuyck wasn't even in the blue paint when that happened. It was completely intentional. But he's laying on the ice for a minute, and he stays in the game. Colin Blackwell, that hit he took from Scheifele, was clearly in the side of the head, and he wasn't feeling great afterwards.
Yeah, he looked groggy on the bench.
So I guess concussion spotters are no longer a thing in the NHL, or the one that was assigned tonight was at the hot dog stand all night.
Don't blame him.
Yeah, if they if they have concussion spotters still, I know there was a nice 1 month period where they were working hard a few years ago, but yeah, if they have them still, this is not a good job by them, because
I want that job, because apparently you just go to hockey games and go, he's fine.
He looks fine.
Yeah, I mean the Hellebuyck one was pretty egregious. I mean, if you have a guy rolling around on the ground holding his head for a few minutes, that's cause for concern.
Yeah, even if they're full of shit.
Yeah, right.
He's watching a little too much European soccer there, weren't you, Connor? Did they call a penalty? All right, I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, even in soccer, when you get your toe stepped on and then you do 15 somersaults and roll on the ground, you still have to come off the pitch, as it's called, for a few minutes and get that magic spray sprayed on your ankle, and then you go back out there. Like, for Hellebuyck, to have that reaction, and look, I'm not saying he completely faked anything he was feeling, but like, you'd imagine a guy who got hit in the head clearly and then is holding his head rolling around. You're like, maybe we should be a little concerned about that. But whatever. This is the NHL. What are we supposed to expect? They're going to take concussion seriously?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, the snow is piling up. So before we spring in, anything we need to know? Anything we missed?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. Yeah, it was. It's great that they got the reward for the way that they played in that third period. With Mrazek pulled, Seth Jones and Luke Richardson spoke about the 6-on-5 work that they've had this season, a lot of it, and they were able to get rewarded for it tonight, and talked about how they were focusing more on plays down low when you have the 6-on-5 advantage, rather than just trying to shoot from the blue line and hope for rebounds and stuff. So it was a different strategy, and ended up working. It was I am surprised that Seth Jones didn't get the secondary assist on that game tire, because he clearly passed the puck to Dickinson, and then Dickinson made the move to the front of the net, and Johnson finished it. So
they're giving Foligno the primary, so he must have tipped the puck on the way to Johnson. I don't know. That might change before it's all said and done, but he must have tipped the puck in between Dickinson and Johnson. So
you said nip.
He did, and so he stole the assist from Seth Jones.
I'm watching the replay right now. I will tell you what I see.
Okay.
Seth Jones to Dickinson. Yeah, Foligno did get a piece of it.
Did he? Okay.
Well, yeah, he did get a piece of it.
Well, the point still remains that they set up the play to go down low, and Dickinson made the move to the net. So, just a different look, and it paid off. So good reward for them, the way that they played that third period, controlled most of it. You'd hope that they'd be able to do more of that for more of the game, but when you are out-talented, there's only so much you can do.
Speaking of Seth Jones, one of us had him for Who's Your Hawk, I think.
I think so.
I realize you're going to have to wear that for the rest of the show now. You're calling it out a little early.
I'll wear it through the break. We got to do it with Mario here. I'm closing the gap on you, Tirabassi.
Yeah.
I am the winner. Hot dog, I am a wiener.
All right.
Seth Jones, good game. I just figure a guy who plays half the game is going to have... He's kind of become like Bedard 2.0. If Bedard's off the board, you kind of take Seth Jones just because...
Well, I think I'm going to get him next game because I have first pick again next game, but by our rules, I cannot pick Connor Bedard. So
Mario, you got Bedard?
it sounds like looks like we have our picks here.
We can just build the graphic right now.
I'm gonna take Jones, and so yeah, Jay, you're gonna have to take Kershev or Johnson
or Foligno, whoever.
Blackwell, he's on a heater.
There you go. He's on an 82-game pace over the last 2 games.
He is.
Tell the other GMs.
Yeah.
All right, Mario, drive safe, man. Enjoy the wind and all the other bullshit that's happening outside. I walked out and I looked at Greg and go, what the hell is this? There's like legitimately accumulating snow outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And this morning I wore a T-shirt out to the store.
Yeah, and it's going to be 70 on Tuesday.
Sweet.
Hey, Chicago, man.
Tom Skilling was trying to tell us about it a couple days ago.
What does he know?
No such
damn liar.
Who made him an expert?
No such thing as climate change.
Exactly. All right, Mario. Take care, man. We'll see you Sunday.
See you Sunday. Should be a lot of fun.
Fun and long day. We'll talk to you then. That is Mario
such a long
Tirabassi live from the United Center. Good stuff from him as always. And speaking of good stuff, it still has the sweet aroma of bacon in this room, despite my best efforts to change the aroma in the kitchen area before the show.
You did.
I at least warned you.
You were,
and I brought you your Coors Edge.
Ultimate teammate.
But, it still smells very, very strongly like bacon in here.
And ass.
And that's because that's Charlie does not make ass bacon. But if you request it, he might. He will try. But don't get that. Get the good bacon he makes. Charlie the Bacon Guy, he's based in Woodridge, and he makes, listen up, if you're just joining us, Kraft bacon. Yeah, you didn't know that was a thing, did you? Yep, it's a thing. Get yourself some Kraft bacon and bacon jam. Charlie offers over 35 different flavors. It's all naturally cured. There's nothing in there that's fake, no preservatives, nothing like that. It is herbs, it is spices, and that's about it.
And glorious bacon.
Glorious bacon.
Fatty, delicious bacon.
And you might say, like, well, I'm not just going to order like a pound of bacon from a guy. Well, yeah, you got to get a lot from Charlie. And you can do that
Order 10
with
pounds.
confidence because everything is vacuum sealed. It freezes up beautifully. It will last in the package 60 days in the fridge and 1 week after the seal's broken. 9 months in the freezer. Longer than that, I can speak to. He's just being careful. It's longer than that.
Who has bacon in their freezer?
I
for
have a
9
chest
months?
freezer and it fell. It like slid down. And I found some back bacon. I'm like, well, this is still
What's
good.
it even doing in your freezer?
Back bacon?
Mine never even makes it to the freezer.
Back bacon's delicious.
It doesn't survive. It doesn't last. It doesn't make it out of the fridge in 2 or 3 days.
It's rare. It's rare that happens. But
Shame
sometimes
on you.
Charlie's like, hey, here's a bunch of test bacons. So I have more than most people.
You're allowed to eat it
I know
back-to-back days.
Anyway, it freezes up beautifully. Have no fear. And bacon jam, what does that go on? Your hand.
Anything? Your tongue?
If we could put it on a burger, put it on your pizza. If it's food.
It's great in grilled cheese.
Yeah, put it on anything. Charlie puts it in cinnamon rolls or just eat it with a spoon. Go to charliethebaconguy.com, see the flavors he's offering now, and check out the Bacon Vault. It's all the flavors he's made in the past, and if it's not currently available, give Charlie about 2 weeks and he'll make it for you. He's also got great looking merch, beanies, hats, t-shirts, stickers, coffee mugs. Get some. Here are some of the favorite bacon flavors. Maple pepper. Nope. Maple pepper. Chorizo. I don't know if he makes that one either.
Perfect compliment to that ass bacon.
French toast. I'm glad Charlie's a friend because honey chipotle, Cajun jardiniere. I love the jardiniere. Raspberry chipotle and Maui Wow. We just tried that this week. Excellent. Bacon jams. How about the original bourbon, mango habanero, and cherry jalapeno? Oh my God, the cherry jalapeno. Stop yourself. Starting now, you can save 10% on your order at charliethebaconguy.com. When you use the code CHGO at checkout, you can pick it up, which is the most efficient way for you, or he can deliver it to you, meet you halfway, or even ship it. He makes the bacon so you can bring it home. Go to charliethebaconguy.com. Follow him on Instagram at charliethebaconguy, Twitter at CZTheBaconGuy, or shoot him an email, charliethebaconguy@gmail.com.
I don't know how to top that. So
The chat's on it,
I'm not
man.
even going to try.
Chat wants to try the maple pecker.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Hey, man, I'll try anything once.
it's a Canadian sex organ.
If Charlie makes it, it's probably good.
Hey, you want a bigger car to put more bacon in it?
Yes.
Well, we've got great news for you. Our partner, Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram with the Maple Pecker in Fox Lake is celebrating President's Day sales event all month long. You know what that means? You're going to be able to shop presidential savings on their wide selection of inventory. For a limited time, get 20% off MSRP on all remaining new 2023 Jeep Gladiator models.
You like Gladiator models, Tommy?
Russell Crowe's favorite car. They're number one for new vehicle quality along mid-side trucks, says J.D. Power, and you should listen to him. He knows what he's talking about. He doesn't talk about bad things. He only talks about good things. And that's not all. Shop their last call on select Dodge Challenger and Charger models. Dodge is the most powerful muscle car brand, so you don't want to miss out on their last call with over 20 Dodge muscle cars to choose from. At Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicago's largest inventories and drive home with more money in your pocket than you'd expect, thanks to Ray's Price Promise. Don't miss out. Shop great deals all month long and save big, because Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram makes buying a new vehicle more affordable ever. And that's not all. Just for listening, you can get an absolutely free oil change just by mentioning CHGO at the service center, or mention CHGO when you book online at RayCDJR/service. But you have to schedule before February 29th. Listen, we want you to get a free oil change so much. We gave you a whole extra day to go do it. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, you have to check out the team at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, because they're the only team we recommend. Visit them on Route 12 in Fox Lake or at raycdjr.com, serving the community since 1963.
J.D. Power, born May 30th, 1931 in Worcester, Mass., died January 23rd, 2021. He was 89 years old. R.I.P. in peace, J.D. Power.
Even if he was a masshole.
Yeah. He's from Worcester. Hey, man, the guy's made a whole life of just saying, like, this thing's good.
Hey. He's a trusted man.
He's an optimist is what he is, I would imagine. Is there always the opposite of J.D. Power? Like, it's like, this thing sucks. Does he have bad reviews for stuff?
Isn't that Mr. Who's the fashion guy that always did the, like, worst dressed list?
Oh, yeah.
Was it Mr. Blackwell? Colin's dad?
Maybe. Must be. I'm going to get in a J.D. Power wormhole tonight when I can't sleep. So I'll report back next
He
show.
doesn't just talk about cars. He, like, recommends everything.
Yeah, like blenders and...
How do you get that gig where you just test stuff?
I think you just invent it.
All right.
I am offering the service. Send me everything, and I'll tell you if it's good or not. That's awesome. That's just good thinking. You know?
It's good stuff.
It's like my high school teacher. He said... Tom Powerty at St. Lawrence. Anyone who went to St. Lawrence knows Tom Powerty. He said, like, when he was in his early 20s, he had the idea for Jiffy Lube. And he's like, it's just not realistic. You can't probably do that. And then, like, you know, the oil, like, pull in, work from the floor, like, quick oil change. He invented the concept in his brain and never followed through. And to this day, it tortures him. J.D. Power. He's like, screw this. I'm going to review stuff.
Send me your stuff for free, and I'll tell everybody it's great. What an awesome gig.
That's great.
All right.
All right. Lucy wants to know, Greg and Jay, settle this. Can the Hawks get the first overall pick more than twice in a 5-year span? Nope.
I know Lord Hostess says if they finish last and they get the number 1 overall pick, they don't technically win the lottery. Yeah, they do win the lottery because they draw for the number 1 pick, and the Hawks have the most chances. So if they get the number 1 pick, they won the lottery.
Right.
You can't do that more than twice in 5 years. So if they get number 1 overall this year, they can't for 5 more years. And I saw some of you freaking weirdos talking about the 2026 number 1 overall. Stop!
Oh, my God.
The kid's...
Relax.
Kid hasn't even sprouted a pube yet, and you're talking about when we're going to draft him. Relax.
Christ.
Relax. Can we get to the 2024 draft?
Yeah, I think I saw people saying, like, maybe they shouldn't get Celebrini because then in 2026 it'll be even better. It's like, oh, my God.
I don't want the Blackhawks even in the lottery in 2026.
Give yourselves a mental break.
Like, relax.
Stop.
Relax. I don't care if he's Bedard's cousin.
I'm ready for competitive hockey again.
Great.
Come on,
Yes.
man.
Perfect.
Playoffs, baby. Come on.
Just stop. You guys are weird. I love you, each and every one of you, but freaking stop.
Relax.
Stop yourselves.
Yeah, just
to quote the great late
Take
Doug
a
Buffon.
deep breath. What do Greg always says? Go smell a flower.
Yeah, go outside, read a book,
Yeah.
go pet a dog,
Right.
do something.
Do all those things. All right.
Oh,
We got some stuff to wrap up. I am the winner of Who's Your Hawk. We talked about that already. We got to go now to Connor's Corner.
well, that'll make me feel better. There it is.
There it is. Always a little playful little ditty.
Not the best Connor's Corner we've ever
No,
seen.
we've had better corners before. Connor Bedard finished this game with 1 shot on goal, 3 shot attempts, 18:08 of ice time. Was in the penalty box twice, served a bench minor, and then took an offsetting penalty, so that reduced the minutes a little bit for Bedard. Not his finest game, but as we talked about with Korchinski, development is not linear. But while what wasn't there in the production
Right.
was there in the decision-making tonight.
Yeah.
Making safer and better plays.
Well, he had to because he had 2 white sweaters on him every time. Like Winnipeg, they watched him single-handedly beat them once this year. They weren't going to do it again.
Yeah.
They were like, we're going to make Colin Blackwell and Tyler Johnson beat us.
Well, I mean,
And
it makes it. Of course,
he's
the one guy that you got to stop.
And he's going to have to learn how to fight through on these nights. And, you know, it will get better when he has better talent around him. And the Jets are a big, very good defensive team.
And they're fast.
They're structured. They stay within their structure. They have their layers. The 4 will let him go, but there's a big old defenseman waiting for him. Oh, and if you're able to get back through that structure, they've got the best goalie in the league waiting for you. So it's a tough team. I do have a feeling, though. I'm going to make a prediction. I'm not great at predictions. 2 straight games without a point for Connor Bedard.
Oh,
The
and he's
Detroit
being
Red
motivated
Wings,
as
who
hell.
suck at defense and do not have great goaltending. Patrick Kane in the building. The hockey world watching. I'm predicting 3-point night for
All right,
Connor
I like
Bedard.
that. I like where your head's at.
He is going to be like, I'm sorry, Patrick Kane. You are old news. I'm the current news. You're just going to have to watch me take over this
This
game.
might be that. What year was that? Where it was like Kane versus Matthews?
Yeah.
Where they were just
Well,
back
that's
and forth the whole game.
2019, 22.
Yeah,
It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
That overtime game. They each had a hat trick, right?
Yes, I believe that's right.
Or something. Yeah. It was a
But back and forth, like awesome game.
But I think Bedard against the Red Wings is with the energy in that building. It's the perfect game for him to go victimize somebody because the Red Wings don't play great defense.
Yeah.
It's been their biggest problem all season. Let's see it. Let's
That'd be a lot of fun.
Let's see Kane and Bedard put on a show.
Do you think there'll be booze for Kane? I can't imagine that.
I don't think so.
No way.
There's really no reason for it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people booed, and I was one of them.
Yeah, different time.
Yeah, and
Different
the
era.
team was in a different spot too.
Yeah, Patrick Kane never said he'd never play for Detroit.
Yeah,
Less meatheads in the crowd than there
True.
were in the 90s.
true. No, I
don't think so. Maybe after that first, after the tribute, maybe
Yeah,
you
right.
might get a couple. If he scores a goal, people may be like, "Boo."
Yeah.
Don't hurt us. But I don't see.
He's done too much here.
He's going to get a huge ovation. People are going to cheer the second he comes on the ice for warm-ups. People are going to go crazy. And then
but the Detroit sucks chant better be in full effect. on Sunday.
it's going to be it's your one time a year
Come
where
on.
it needs to be. Yes. It should be. It's going to be such a fun day.
I really
can't
feel.
wait.
I really feel like that chant is starting to die out. The last
Well, the
couple of Detroit
rivalry's
games
dying.
I've been to, it's been non-existent. People
Well,
don't know it.
The
There's a-
rivalry's over.
There's a whole
sucks, man.
lot of newer fans who you could tell are at their first games. There's a lot of things that need to be explained to the current Blackhawk fans. We need to maybe we got to do it ourselves. There needs to be some PSAs filmed about the chant.
Yeah,
It's "Let's Go Hawks." So many times people are trying to start the "Let's Go Blackhawks."
Yeah.
It's like that's not the chant. It's "Let's Go Hawks." Detroit sucks. It's the same.
they go in
Yes.
rhythm. Yes.
It's the same pattern, and you gotta wait for the whistle. I mean, there's times in the
that's
press box I
bad.
want to scream, but people are just
Yeah,
getting
it's
up
getting
and walking
bad.
out with the puck and play. That is not cool, man. They're
No, it's
like
bad.
back in the day, they had Jonathan Taves do a video on the board telling people about puck and play, all the hockey etiquette stuff. They need to re-record that with Connor Bedard and get it out there so people know. It's a lot of people that have never been to a hockey game, and unless they're not going to know unless you tell them. Tell them nicely. Don't scream at them.
Yeah,
as
don't
they
be a
get
dick.
up.
Don't be a
Right.
gatekeeper.
Right.
If it happens repeatedly,
Well, then be a
okay,
dick. Yeah.
yeah. But if you say,
Hey,
look,
just
maybe
so you
you're
know,
new,
man, like,
wait till the
we,
puck's
we,
out of
we,
play.
at hockey, like, yeah. But if you have Connor Bedard up there telling them, hey, man, don't get up to the whistle
Yeah.
blows, people will listen.
I would think so. I know I would, but
But
yeah,
yes, it is.
look, like
Let's go Hawks.
with
Let's go Hawks.
with
That's
the
what
young
it is.
team and
Drives me
and
crazy.
new eyes on a team because of Bedard. Like, there's new fans, and I'm telling y'all, welcome them. New fans are good, but also help them. Don't be a dick and don't scream at them because all they're going to do is freak out and not know why they're getting screamed at. Just say, hey, next time, wait till the whistle. Go run and get your pizza then. It's easy.
Yeah.
And I think people will be like, oh, cool, that makes sense. Okay, thank you. I didn't think of that, right? Totally makes sense. All right, last thing we got to do before we go is anoint the 4-star of the game. And I don't even know who it is. Who is the winner?
It was Colin Blackwell.
Colin Blackwell.
68% of the vote.
Ooh, you need one more vote to get that nice.
Almost had a very nice vote.
Yeah.
But congrats to Colin Blackwell. Look, from the second this game started, Colin Blackwell was shot out of a damn cannon.
Yep.
He played his ass off today. He played his ass off. He was really, really good. Nice to see him get rewarded on that breakaway goal. But by the way, go back and watch that highlight. Look at this pass by Seth Jones.
Yeah.
Laser beam on the tape. Catches him in stride. And nice little couple games in a row.
Had
Or,
the toe drag goal last
Yeah.
game. Hey, that trade value, it's going up.
oh, I think it was No Roids who asked, would they trade Tyler Johnson? I think the two guys on this team that have a little bit of trade value they would consider are Johnson and Blackwell.
Yeah.
And I'm not pissed if they don't trade either of them.
Right.
But both unrestricted free
And
agents.
let's be realistic. You're not getting
You're not
much
getting
for
much.
either of those guys.
No.
Maybe a third-round pick for Johnson because you can retain half the salary.
Right.
But you're not getting much. If Tyler Johnson says, hey, I'd like to go to contender and have one more run, you owe him that.
Sure.
He's earned that right. He's been a warrior since coming here. I know the production hasn't been what we've been used to. The health hasn't been great, but if the Colorado Avalanche say, hey, we kind of want Tyler Johnson to play on our bottom six, we've got we need another Johnson for Jack. Sure, you make that deal. That's about it. That's really all.
Yeah,
That's
there's not
really
a ton.
all there is. But as you retweeted, Pierre LeBrun on The Athletic had a note about the Blackhawks would be willing to take on like another Nikita Zaitsev guy, where you get a guy on a not great contract that has another year beyond this, if you make it worthwhile with the draft capital. So I see a very quiet trade deadline day for the Blackhawks, but I do also see them maybe picking up a pick or a prospect in being a third team in, kind of just taking on half a salary to kind of facilitate a team with some salary
Yeah.
caps.
I'm looking at some of these 2025 free agents. Tavares, Marner, Ben, Rantanen,
And well, look further down the list.
Nick Backstrom,
Don't start.
Ryan Johansson, Brent Burns, Victor Hedman, Evgeny Kuznetsov. That could be one, but they're not going to look to do anything.
Right.
Orlov, Ekblad, Provorov, no. Besser, Giroux, Petrie, Marchand, Brock Nelson. There's just not a ton. I don't know. Like last year, I feel like the Zaitsev one was so obvious.
Right.
I don't.
But
I'm
you
not
never know.
sa-
You
I'm
never
not-
know.
yeah,
What
you don't
team,
know.
what team wants to clear out a little bit of salary to make a bigger trade.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting. All right, got some super chats to knock out before we go. Evil Bills with $10. Thank you so much. He says buy some effing bacon.
Don't tell me twice.
And JG with a $1 super chat. Thank you for that, JG. And we want
Appreciate
to
it.
welcome, by the way, our new diehards. 5 more over the last 2 days. We've got Jim and Tim, Rich, Caleb, and Kari. That's 84 new diehards this month. Let's keep it going. Become a diehard. And here's the thing, everybody. Since you stuck with us late, there's going to be another announcement for something special on Monday's show.
Yep.
And being a diehard is going to pay off in that regard.
It really is. So if you're not a diehard already and you hate missing out on big events, become a diehard, because diehards are going to get first crack at something really cool, an upgraded experience.
Absolutely right. So allchgo.com. Not only do you get access to what we're hyping for Monday, we'll tell you the details on Monday. You also get a free sugar hat upon sign up, 20% off our CHGO locker, 20% off all of our events and takeovers. So jump in and become a diehard today.
Absolutely. And please, for the love of bacon,
yes,
hit the like button on your way out if
yes,
you haven't
please.
done that yet. The math is just not adding up to me.
Yeah, I agree.
And Ice Hogs won tonight.
Hey!
No points from Lucas Reichel, but he had a couple shots on goal, and according to John Fromey, who does a really good job giving out Ice Hogs update, he was had some bad puck luck tonight, had a couple of good scoring chances, just didn't get it over through. Wyatt Kaiser, goal and assists, first career multi-point game for young Mr. Kaiser. So big win for the Ice Hogs tonight.
Keep him coming.
Our guy Remington had a power play goal.
There he is. It's right where he belongs. Right in the top line of an AHL team. Good for him.
Where he's best.
All right, we'll talk to everybody on Sunday after Hawks and Red Wings.
Delayed post-game show.
Yes, we will. We're going to come after the game ends, so don't look for us immediately after the game. Probably, a half hour or so?
Probably.
Yeah.
However long it takes you guys to get out of the parking lot and me to do post-game media.
Yep.
Because somebody's got to work that day.
We'll be here. Exactly. And it's you, not me. All right, we'll talk to you Sunday after Hawks and Red Wings. Thanks to Kevin for running the show. We'll talk to you then on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.